The help wanted signs are up, both figuratively and literally, in the wake of Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria. There's a lot of reconstruction to be done, and not enough trained workers to do it. Our cover story is reported by Mark Strassmann.
This is Houston, a month after Hurricane Harvey devastated much of the city and southeast Texas. Damage estimates go up to $190 billion. The cleanup has begun, but there's a crisis looming for the rebuilding effort. It's not a lack of money or will, it's a lack of skilled labor, a national shortage that's reaching a crisis stage. Nearly 40 years ago, America's do-it-yourself work ethic became the stuff of primetime television.
This Old House, show number 1, WGBH-TV, Boston.
When This Old House took to the airwaves on PBS.
Well, these brackets are damaged also by the water getting into the soffit, and I have...
Since 1979, Norm Abram, the show's unlikely star, has taught 2 generations of viewers how to build things.
I didn't have the best clothes. My back pocket had holes in it. I had a crazy-looking cap. It was in February we were doing that project. And, you know, a scaffolding that would never pass OSHA controls today.
When Abram was a kid, his father gave him a handy-andy toolbox one Christmas and opened his eyes to the joys of working with his hands.
The truck pulls in, dumps a big load of lumber there, and all of a sudden the carpenters come out and take saws and hammers and start cutting material, and a house just comes to life. And it's not as easy as it looks, but it's very rewarding.
It's a reward Abram worries fewer and fewer Americans are experiencing.
It's the biggest thing I hear from contractors. What's your biggest problem? I can't find good help.
America's economy has a growing labor crisis, a shortage of skilled construction workers. These men and women put a roof over your head. Carpenters, plumbers, electricians, and masons. They're getting harder and harder to find. And with 2 devastating mainland storms in the last month, they've never been more needed. But
over the last 4 years, we've seen rising rates of open jobs. In other words, there's a help wanted sign put out by the builder or the remodeler, and they simply can't fill it.
Robert Dietz is the chief economist for the National Association of Homebuilders. We talked to him about these made in America jobs, a traditional front door to the American dream.
Over the decades, as we've gone through different rounds of infrastructure development, building the nation's suburbs, the highways, and the rest, those construction jobs have been a critical part of building a middle class. The challenge right now is that we simply do not have enough people who are ready and willing and able to join the construction industry.
The 2008 recession hit homeowners and home builders hard. More than 1.5 million residential construction workers left the industry. Some changed careers, others simply retired. Many immigrant workers went home and never came back because of tougher immigration laws. Add it all up, and since the Great Recession, the industry has recovered fewer than half those jobs.
So if we don't get those workers, housing costs ultimately are going to be higher, and that's going to price out workers from being able to buy homes.
The construction industry has tried raising wages. It's also turning to prefabricated homes to make up for the labor shortfall. But it's not enough. By one estimate, for every skilled worker entering the workforce, there are 5 who retire. Henry Jackson is a construction manager in Baltimore. What do your 3 sons think about this kind of work?
They think it's grueling, back-breaking work, and they don't want to do it.
And what do you tell them?
I tell them that it is, but it's very rewarding at the end of the day.
The attitude of Jackson's kids is typical. A survey this year of career-minded young people found that only 3% were interested in a construction trade.
We have companies out there that will stand in line, literally stand in line, waiting for kids to interview them, to offer them jobs.
Kurt Adam is assistant superintendent at Lehigh Career and Technical Institute near Allentown, Pennsylvania. This high school teaches 41 different trades. Graduates leave with a specific skill: plumbing, welding, carpentry, and some leave with jobs that can start at $60,000 a year.
One of your kids told me
the perception they have to overcome is that tech is for stupid kids.
Absolutely. And it's been that way forever. I graduated from high school in 1979, and that was it. If you were lazy, if you were stupid, you went to tech. And that still exists today out there, and we fight that every day.
But do you think the general public understands what you do?
No.
Or the need here?
They do when they need a plumber to come fix their toilet at midnight on a Saturday. And he's getting paid $75 an hour to come fix a toilet or come fix your water heater because it broke. That's when they get it. And that's a challenge.
I would rather be working with my hands.
We spoke with a handful of students not long ago. 17-year-old Jody Ann Young's career path surprised even her.
I didn't come to LCTI to be a plumber. I'm a girly girl, hello, as you can see. But when I walked into the plumbing lab, I just got so excited about, the things that plumbers do.
And have you thought about college?
I have. I want to finish the apprenticeship program, take my journeyman's, then take my license to be a master plumber. And then I feel like I should go to college to take business classes and own my own business one day.
And you have a plan as a high school senior.
Yes.
How many of your friends can say that?
Not many.
70% of graduating high school seniors head off to a 2- or 4-year college, where in addition to their studies, many learn how to build debt. On average, college grads leave school with $37,000 in student loans.
Where else
It drives Mike Rowe crazy. He's the former host of the TV show
Get ready to get dirty.
Dirty Jobs. You're saying you got nothing against college, but not everyone has to go.
Yeah. Look, I got nothing against cars, but not everybody has to drive a Lamborghini. There are just a lot of sensible ways to get to where you're going. And in the same way we've ignored entire categories of good jobs, we've ignored entire categories of education, apprenticeships, fellowships.
It really is backbreaking. For years, Rowe has shown us that dirty jobs are also important jobs.
Oh, that's close. Sorry.
The popular portrayals of blue-collar work are so predictable. They're so hackneyed. If there's a plumber on TV, he's 300 pounds and he's got the giant butt crack thing going, right? You just know it. He has to.
Since 2008, the Mike Rowe Works Foundation has boosted awareness about the skilled labor shortage.
And so, years of predictable portrayals coupled with well-intended parents and guidance counselors trying to elevate one form of education at the expense of others have, in my opinion, conspired to marginalize an entire chunk of the workforce.
Lift it up and slide it back.
Which brings us back to this old house, now in its 39th season. For the first time, this season will showcase 3 young apprentices as they learn how to build a career. The show hopes to build an awareness that America's construction trades need a new blueprint.
We want to make awareness of that shortage, try to explain why it happened, but more than anything else, we want to empower and encourage young people to take a shot at the skilled trades.
And not seen on TV, but in kitchens and basements around eastern Pennsylvania. Jody Ann Young graduated in May. She's now a junior plumber, building for her future.